Everyone thinks that teens in our world today use alcohol, tobacco, or drugs to cope with everyday struggles. You may think they do,
but they don't. Welcome to the But They Don't podcast, a podcast for teens by teens. Join us as we cover substance use prevention, mental health, community conversations, and more.
Welcome back to another episode of the But They Don't podcast. My name's Alyssa.
My name is Audrey.
And my name is Chen.
So we are actually on our retreat for the youth board this week. It's been a lot of fun. What's been y'all's favorite part so far?
I've had a lot of fun last night with Youth Board Idol. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Parker, one of our youth board mentors, Parker, he rocked Youth Board Idol last night. I think he should have gotten like a grand prize. But this week we're going to be discussing on how teenagers can use their platforms for good.
And that's going to lead us directly into our natural high, which I'm going to share about mine. I play volleyball, and I play volleyball to get away from the house for a little while. I used to just play for fun, but I really started playing last season, and my parents drink every once in a while, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but it keeps me away from that. And it also reminds me that the use of not doing like vaping or drugs or alcohol can keep me healthy, and being healthy helps my mental health. Chen, do you want to share with us the blunt truth of this episode?
So, a 2018 study tied social media use to decreased sleep, which is associated with depression, memory loss, and poor academic performances.
So, yeah, social media can be used for like good or bad things. And I think probably the 2018 study that you just mentioned, the decrease of sleep, because I mean, how many of us stay on our phones scrolling through like Instagram or TikTok like until really late? But yeah, it really does affect a lot of those things. Social media can be used for good or bad, and you have to be the one to make that decision on how you're going to use it. And while we think about social media when talking about platform, there's a lot of other ways to use your platform outside of social media. Audrey, how have you used your platform for good?
I've always been really big in public speaking. I've just gone to a lot of events and had a lot of things in school to do with it. And I think that's a really good way to spread a message. I did a speech this past school year, and I added the impact certain events had on my school. We went through a lot with COVID, and it also affected a lot of the mental health throughout our school with online learning and not being able to leave the house. And I spread some awareness about that, and it really made the audience feel a personal connection, and that they're not alone in whatever they may be struggling with.
Another way of using your platform for good is something as simple as socializing with friends. I felt as if I could always talk to my friends about mental health, and they could talk to me if they ever needed me as well. We would talk over our issues at school or at a cafe, and it always feels great to know that you have someone by your side. Although you might not always need like a response, a listening ear is all someone may need.
Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, both of what you guys said, I use as my platform too. I enjoy public speaking, and I had the opportunity this summer to speak at a youth camp and share about my mental health journey, and that opened up some doors for other people to talk about their struggles with mental health to me.
A question to ask yourself is, what benefits come with using your platform for good? For example, by us getting to use this podcast as a platform for good, we are able to share personal experiences, coping mechanisms, and how you can get help if you struggle with drugs, alcohol, tobacco, vaping, and or mental health.
And I know we've been able to help a lot of people through our podcast, especially struggling with mental health and suicide.
It really helps your own mental health when you know you are able to help other people.
That's the reason I'm excited to now be on the youth board for the first time this year, is to get to use this platform for good in hopes to help other people.
Yeah, and it's your first podcast too. That's so exciting.
So for our listeners, think of some ways you may be able to use a platform for good at your schools, playing sports, in clubs, or something else you may be involved in.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the But They Don't podcast.
Now we would love to share an upcoming event that we are so excited about. On August 16th at 6:30 p.m., we are hosting a fundraiser basketball game against the Pickens City Police Department. We will be going head-to-head to find out who the true winners are. We hope that you will come out and support us. We are asking that all attendees donate at least $1 to attend. We are excited to see how this fundraiser could help both the youth board and the police department with funds to continue awesome programs. This will be held at Pickens High School.
You guys think that we're gonna win or like
Yeah.
lose? Really?
Yeah.
You think we're gonna win?
I have faith in us.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad because I'm not very good at basketball.
Either. Make sure to follow us on social media on Facebook at Pickens County Youth Board and on Instagram and TikTok at We Are PCYB.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.